John Keel, we really appreciate all you've done to support Boss Academy and the work you do with your LinkedIn workshops. But let me ask you a few questions. What are the outcomes that your clients get working with you?
That's a great question, Paul. And I just heard last week that LinkedIn is now up to over 965 million members, adding 3 new members every second. So it's still continuing to grow. LinkedIn also says, though, that 99% of its users don't use it effectively. So the outcomes that people get from working with me is they move from the 99% to the 1% who do use it effectively. They get increased exposure on the platform. And as I've shown for my own business over the last 3 years, I get 8 to 10 inbound leads, warm call requests every week from my efforts on LinkedIn. And this is what I teach my members to do. All that means is an increased ROI under time, because you can as many people do, waste a lot of time on LinkedIn if you're not doing things correctly.
Well, you've kind of already answered the question, but what's the payoff for them right away? Are there some other things that they gain from that?
Yeah, what I talk about is, because most people do not get good exposure when they post a post and it just sits there. And what we talk about is seeing, and what I was told when I first started using the system I employ today, an increase of 300 to 500% in my post exposure and ultimate engagement. I didn't believe that, by the way, when I heard it, but I've seen over a tenfold increase over the last 3.5 years.
Yeah, it's amazing. And like I said, I've been a part of your workshops, so I know that these results are real, and I know the impact just small changes makes in the approach. So, John, once again, you've already kind of answered a lot of this, but what is it that you do to get these outcomes? What other things are you helping people with through this process?
Well, first of all, I provide a SaaS product. People can get access to the SaaS product that makes all this work. And a product that is not at odds with the LinkedIn terms of service. But what they also get, people who work with me also get, is more education, more updates. I just was on a call 2 nights ago, and I'll be glad to share it today. Stuff I picked up from one of my 10. I have a posse of 10 people around the world who are who I consider to be trusted gurus. I mean, there are hundreds of people out there claiming to do this and do that and be a LinkedIn guru. I'll never call myself a guru, although other people have, but I won't use that term. But these folks definitely are, and I trust them. I've worked with them for 2 to 3 years. And the one little thing, and this is a takeaway from today, that if you have a free LinkedIn account, I want to encourage you to go to a paid or a premium type of account, because LinkedIn is rolling this out. It's not 100% across the board yet, but there will be a weekly limit on the number of invites you can send out to people to connect with you. And that limit will be 10 per month.
Wow.
If you have a premium account, the limit will be 200 per week, which is an increase on what it's been over the last couple of years. That is a big deal. And I'm glad finally LinkedIn is doing this, quite frankly. I mean, they're in it for the money, which is fine, but this is going to affect a lot of people.
You've had a really successful career. You've done a lot of different things. So why do you do this? What keeps you coming back and doing this workshop month after month and helping support people?
Well, when I sold my first business back in 1995, I'd built it from 5 to 15 million over about a 7-year period. And I didn't have a job. And I said, what am I going to do? Well, I found the internet in January of 95 and just was so excited about what I'd been able to do with my small business. And I have a passion developed through that time period and since, a passion for increasing revenue for small businesses. We are the net job creators in the world's economy, I believe, Paul. It's not the big businesses. I call them big dumb companies. But it's all due to the small business, people like us on this call and other small business owners. I mean, I wake up at 5 every morning ready to go. And as Jim was saying, 70 hours. I don't work 70 hours a week anymore. And I'm not as old as he is.
Nor do I.
I'm gaining on you though. Up till today, I thought I was the oldest member. No more, but I'm glad you're on the call. But it's just, I just love seeing small businesses grow and helping them do that.
I love that. So let's close this out by saying, give us a sense on how people work with you. What's the experience like?
Well, when somebody becomes a member, they immediately get access to a litany of resources that I have, much like you do and much like Brian does with Admanity. There's just a bunch of stuff that goes not only around LinkedIn, but from my 30 plus years of business. And the next thing I do is I schedule a 30 to 60 minute call with them. You can call it a consulting call, whatever, because not everybody's on LinkedIn for the same reason. I want to know why they're there. And we look at their profile, and if they have a bad profile, which 95% of the people do, I point them on to Rhonda. We've got resources because I don't do that kind of stuff. I educate people on all the changes that they need to be implementing right now. And so they get a continue. I do it twice a month, open mastermind with my members, just to give them new things that they don't know about because LinkedIn hasn't told them. And I just continue to give information and educate people.
Well, John Keel, I'm going to boldly call you a LinkedIn guru because I know you've done a lot to impact this group. And I know it's a label you may not necessarily embrace, but we appreciate all you do. And thanks for being an amazing member of Boss Academy.
And I appreciate you for giving me the big screen. This is cool.